I start every interview. We're going to talk about what you do, but I start every interview, or try to, with a simple question, and that is the question of the week is, what old person things do you do?
I take an aqua aerobics class almost every morning at 9, and everyone else there is at least 75.
Now, the reason I asked that question is to break the ice because we don't know each other. But are you the founder? Are you the you boss over at Beyond the Cause, or what do you do over there?
I am the founder. I've been in business for 13 years, and I've also been a website designer for 20 years.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. And Beyond the Cause, we work with small businesses, medium businesses, and nonprofits, and we help them create a year's worth of marketing in 5 days.
Which is insane,
Yeah.
but it's doable. So, when you talk about a year's worth of marketing, are you talking? What does that actually mean? Because if you look at content calendars and stuff, that could be like 500 pieces of marketing or more, right? So, what
Yeah.
do you actually do?
I developed a 5 day system for myself as a business owner, and I started using it many years ago and realized that it was something I could replicate for others. So I created a system called Absolute Marketing, and it's 5 days, 8 hour days, full week. And we focus on one thing per day. And we follow Parkinson's law, which says that if you're given a certain amount of time to do a task, then that task will be taken in that time. So we create a brand in a day, including we write an ebook on day one, and then we create a website in a day from start to finish with almost no prep. And then we also create on day three, we create 365 posts for up to 3 platforms. And that's not a calendar. We're doing like all of the implementation, design, writing, everything. And then day 4, we do 12 months of blogging. And day 5, we do 12 months of email marketing campaigns.
That's holy cow. That's a lot of stuff.
It
And
is.
so a lot of businesses don't look at things in a systemized way like you're talking about. And that's really to their detriment. If you could give, without marketing yourself too much, we'll get to the marketing part, but if you could give people one piece of advice when it comes to doing stuff like this,
Yeah.
what would it be?
You have to give yourself the time. I think we do things in such tiny little increments these days. We work 5 minutes on this and 10 minutes on that and 5 minutes here and 10 minutes there. And we don't give our brain enough time to actually do the work that it needs to do. And sometimes I just tell people the first thing you actually need to do is block off an entire day. And the first hour to 30 minutes should be you just looking out the window. You have to give your brain time to just shut down from all of the busyness that it feels and just literally do nothing. It's very hard to do. It takes sometimes people up to an hour to do that. And then once you're kind of past that hump of your brain going, I need to do something, I need to do something, then your brain can actually relax and you give it one singular task. So that's why we focus on website in a day, brand in a day. We focus on one task at a time, and we're able to accomplish it very quickly because the brain is actually relaxed enough, and then it gets hyper focused. And it's just incredible to see people go from very frustrated at the beginning of the day to extremely motivated and extremely pivoting, like, pinpointed and precision on exactly what they're trying to do and accomplish in that 8 hours.
Absolutely. I think a lot of business owners. I've been in business myself for 13 years, 14 years, 2007, a long time,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of business owners get bogged down because this takes creativity. It really does. And many business owners just offer a service, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not the marketing team. So you offer that as well, a chief marketing officer as well, as a side thing, correct? Is that what we spoke about earlier?
Yeah, it's called Borrow a CMO. And
Okay.
it's for groups that maybe have a marketing team in house, or maybe they have that one person that's running the marketing department. It might be a younger person just got out of school, or maybe someone who's a little bit overwhelmed by everything. Or maybe it's a team of volunteers, like for a nonprofit, and someone's running social, someone's running email, and it's kind of all jumbled. So what we do is we come in for one day and we assess all the skills of the entire team, whether it's one person or many. And then we actually delegate. We start delegating and re-delegating tasks based on those skills. So it's almost like we're re-interviewing everyone and saying, what do you do best? What actually is, what's your real skill? And then we
Mhm.
start re-delegating all the tasks. And then we come back a month later after that initial day, and we kind of recap and see where things are and what needs to be changed from there. But it's a very short time frame initially, but then we actually are able to come back and recap after about a month. So it works really well.
That's awesome. So it's ongoing support, which is kind of
Yeah.
nice because a lot of businesses don't have that. When you look at a person's or at a business's brand, where do you actually start to help people build it? What's the first step?
Well, a lot of people will come to me with a logo and not a brand. And that's unfortunate because there's a lot of logo designers out there and they just know how to make a graphic. I actually was talking with a client earlier this week, and she was telling me that this is the logo I got. She showed it to me. It was literally her initials in a circle. And I said, how did you get to this? Like, why are you using this as your logo? Does it inspire? And she said to me, I don't know. The person who did it didn't really ask me any questions. And they just kind of made it for me and told me, here are some options. There was one in a square, one in a circle, one in a triangle, that kind of thing. And they didn't really dive into the psychology of branding. And that's where we do. We really go in deep on what do you feel about your own company? What do you feel about yourself? And then what do people perceive you as? What have people told you about yourself, about your company? And we use all of those words and all those feelings and ideas to really create what the brand is. And we don't just create a logo and call it a day. We create what's called the essence of a brand, which is that feeling. When you see something, you get a feeling, whether it's the color or the font, or maybe it's the positioning or how it's shaped or formed. And so we want people to be able to see a brand almost a glance and go, wait a minute, I need to look at that again. So we're not doing anything show-stopping or like flashy and bright and fancy, but we are trying to get people to stop and look at something because it resonates with them. Not with everybody, but with the group that they're trying to attract. So that's where we start with branding.
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense. Now, the question that this begs, and your name's Beyond the Cause, and you do branding, so I'm going to expect you to be able to answer this properly. Why? What is your purpose in this? Why do you do this?
I have run into too many business owners who've told me that they lay awake at night and think, crap, I forgot to post on social media. Crap, I didn't put those colors in my, website today, or I have to finish that website. It's just every weekend, 8 hours, for months and months working on the website. And they have this overwhelming sense of like guilt that they're not doing enough or that things aren't finished. And that's what I want to strip away. And I've been able to do that for so many clients. And I'm so happy that we've been able to do that. And then I've come across these, nonprofits. These directors are burnt out. They are doing everything just like the business owners, but they're also doing it almost for no money in some cases. And they're not doing it as a business, they're doing it as a cause. And so I find that most business owners and nonprofits really have the same passion behind what they're doing. They're just doing it in different ways. And so my idea is that we come alongside and we kind of take all this stuff off your plate that's so time consuming, and we just give you back that freedom, that time, and now you can actually focus on the things that you want to do. So that's our why, is to make you less stressed, take it all off your plate and say, we're going to help you with this and give you a system going forward that's very, very easy to manage and very low maintenance.
So if you do this for someone, it has to be updated year after year, right? So this would be a 1-year process theoretically for some of it, correct?
Mm-hmm. And a lot of our clients don't come back. So our small business clients are a little different from our nonprofits. Our small business clients, they come back to us for certain things. Maybe they'll start with just their brand and their website, and they might come back for social media later on. But if they do the full 5 days, we're teaching them along the way. We want them to be self-sufficient and really do things on their own. And maybe they'll come back later if they bring on a team member who's going to be working on their social. They'll say, okay, you taught me everything. Now I want you to teach them everything. So we might have those kind of recurrences, but we really want to set them up to the point they do 5 days with us, they are good to go. Like they should be able to do these things again very quickly and easily because they've learned the processes. Now with the nonprofits, we find that it's easier for them and for us. So we just are put as a line item in their budget, and we do a percentage pricing for nonprofits. Mm-hmm. So it's very easy to get the boards on board. And we say, you know what, for this percentage, you just leave everything to us. You give us a ticket every now and then and say, hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. We'll do all the social media every day. We'll do all of the postings every day. And we'll ask you for a few things throughout the month. And that's all you have to do. It takes you maybe 10 minutes to an hour to complete our tasks. And that's it. So we're really trying to take that off of the nonprofit and really bring that in-house for us. But with the small businesses, we want them to be more self-sufficient and really kind of not come back. We want them to do everything on their own because we know they can.
That's awesome. Where do you want to be with your business in 10 years? Where do you actually want to go?
I would love to see this grow. We have a team of 3 right now, so we're operating on a smaller scale. But I would love to see us be able to help more nonprofits and grow our own team so that we can help more people. And also, I would like to see this become something that we can scale to the point where we're merging with, or we're kind of partnering with the Blackbauds of the world and all those CRM organizations that they do parts really, really well, but this is the part they're missing, that nonprofits, if they could go to this one place and get everything done and have that person that's going to help them one-on-one, then it would be perfect. Like, they'd have all the pieces from one company that would really help them to expand and grow their mission. So that's what we see this going to, is that we end up partnering with someone later down the line that's more in the CRM space, because we use a lot of CRMs with these smaller nonprofits, and we'd like to see that grow a little bit more and expand more.
That's awesome. I like it. Is there anything that we haven't touched on? Because let's face it, we've been through a lot in just 11 minutes. What do you want to touch on that we've missed, that I haven't been smart enough, because I told you about my experience earlier, to hit?
Well, I am also a speaker, and I love speaking. I do 2 to 3 podcasts or video podcasts a week, because I used to network like crazy, and then COVID happened, and I'm like, oh, I miss my people. So now I get to kind of network one-on-one, which is really fun for me. And I also get to share what I do and how we can help people, with a larger audience. But I love to speak, and I'm ready for the big conferences to come back. I'm ready for the summits to start happening again. But until that time, I love going to other places and teaching, social media in a day. I share my formula with everybody. It's not a secret. And so I love sharing that and seeing people like have that aha moment, through Zoom or whatever the platform is, and go, oh my gosh, this makes it so much easier. So that's one of my passions, and I just love speaking with people.
That works. I really think that what you could do could help a lot of people, especially in the small business community and the nonprofit, of course, because it's hard when you're creating that marketing, when you're coming up with ways to be creative in general, because it can't be the same thing over and over and over again, especially for a nonprofit. Oh, give us money. Well, good luck with that, if it's right. So I really like what you do. Yeah, that's awesome. Before we end off, we're at 12 minutes or 13 minutes. Before we end off, I do apologize for the short time span, but I had to fit you in. Where do people find you other than the website? Is there anything else to find you at, or any other place? I can't talk. Holy cow.
Yeah, I actually have a podcast of my own, and I always get requests for people to be guests on it. However, it's only 2 minutes long. So it's called the Absolute Marketing Podcast. You can find it at absolutemarketingpodcast.com. And you can also find it on Apple, iTunes, all that stuff. But yeah, it's really fun podcast. It's one tip every single week, and it's about 2 minutes. And I just love doing that, because it's just like this little tidbit of information that could just help you with your business, or give you that tip or that tool that you didn't know about, and really just help you move forward. So I really, really do love that. And one last thing too, I forgot to mention, I also own a trivia company where we do live trivia, like trivia stuff that you would go to a bar and do. But we do it live online. And it's really, really fun. And we've actually found that a lot of nonprofits who had to cancel their fundraisers are looking for those virtual options. And it's a little bit hard. Like you said, give me your money. Like, no one has any money to give right now. And so this is a way for nonprofits to actually say, hey, we're going to give you this trivia thing. Instead of prizes being handed out for the top trivia people, yeah, I might pay $10 to play and I'll have a lot of fun. But the prizes are all going to go to the charity of the night. So we're really trying to help nonprofits find alternative ways to ask for money and get it, rather than like looking for these big venues to hold events and things like that right now. So we want to get them funds immediately if we can.
Okay, that's awesome. I want to thank you for coming on. Before we end off, what's one thing that you've done for yourself today to make yourself happy, other than this interview?
Well, because this was awesome. I actually spoke with my team in England through Zoom earlier today. And I just love seeing like my team and how they're working and seeing that they're happy, and they are, thank goodness. And I was able to increase the pay rate of a couple of my employees. So I was very excited to give them that gift and that bonus. And it just made me happy to see them happy.
That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you very much for coming on. Before we end off, once more, beyondthecause.co. And Elizabeth, I want to thank you so much. I apologize that I might be not that great of an interview right now, but I hope that you've had fun, and I hope that people got some value from this.
I have had
I
fun.
truly
Thank
wanna
you so
thank
much.
I want to
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. Yeah. And I will let you go. Just continue to wave bye-bye, and I'll end the broadcast. Bye, everybody.